Hello, I am Dr. Wilhelmina, and often I come to you on this channel and give you topics of wellness. And sometimes I'll do makeup reviews or skincare reviews, but often areas in the wellness arena. So, today, what in the world am I talking about? I'm so excited to talk about this subject because I have struggled with it on waves in my own life. And I've actually beat it on many occasions, but sometimes it gets the best of me. And that is self-sabotage. If you're a self-sabotager, you know what I'm talking about. You have to really work on yourself in these cases when it's coming up. So let me tell you about self-sabotage. Self sabotage is often rooted in subconscious patterns of behavior that stem from fear. So you're afraid, you're fearful, maybe insecurities, limiting your beliefs in yourself, basically. It can manifest through procrastination because you're avoiding it, right? You don't want to do it, whatever it is. Negative self talk, if you're telling yourself you can't do it, you can't do it. Deliberately undermining your own efforts of success. Understanding its nature involves exploring one's underlying emotions, thoughts, and triggers. So let me tell you a story. I tell this story often, sort of like Joel Osteen. When he gets up, does his sermon, it's always positive, empowering, something you love to listen to, but he always gets back to that compact center. Well, this is one of the major stories in my life that I overcame at a certain point and still have to continue to use the skills I used at that point in order to overcome. So, uh, this story is I was working once at an office, and my job was to do training, and I sucked at it. It wasn't that I didn't understand the subject or I couldn't tell people what was good and what was bad and how to work with the situation. I could, but it was that self-sabotage, me believing I couldn't do it, my insecurities. And what happened for me was that I didn't know the material I was briefing as far as the slides very well, but I knew the subject so well. So going into it, I hadn't had things memorized, and it was just like the self-sabotaging of procrastination because I didn't want to do it. And so it's hard to remember what you don't practice. So at this point, I kept doing the trainings, and I knew I was sucking, but I just couldn't find my way out of it. But I realized finally that I needed some help. And the help was very simple. I think it was 2 days that I got help, 2 different occasions for maybe an hour. So I found a uh, mentor who I saw do trainings and briefings. And I thought, he was able to be himself, but yet be good at what he was doing and keep his personality in it. So I thought that's the mentor for me. So I asked him, and he said, sure. I got with him. And first problem was that my slides were jacked up. I inherited them from the person that had the job before me. There were periods on the bullets, and it was just all kinds of. They were just messed up. So that was the first step. I had to make sure that my information was correct and was not distracting to the audience. So then after that, he didn't know the subject. It wasn't like he could brief that subject at that point, but he just really told me to relax, be myself. I can do it. And it was like, oh, light bulb went on in my head. It's like, you can do this. You can do it. Why are you tripping? You know this information. So this is something that I have struggled with from time to time. Let my nerves get the best of me. I know a subject, I know it well, but then when it comes to speaking in front of a big group, then it's like, I'm scared. Or like my ex-boss used to say, you're wet in all the places you should be dry, and dry in all the places you should be wet. And I'm all over. I know it wasn't very appropriate, but she used to say that to me. There's other things she said too, but we're not going to talk about those. So anyway, I've got some tips that will help, and I'm going to go through them now. So, self awareness. First, you need to understand that you even have these behaviors that lead to the self sabotage. So, pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. So, for me, I would say in this situation that I'm talking about, um, it was the thoughts that I couldn't do it, the thoughts that there's so many people out there, and that I'm going to disappoint them and not keep them interested in what I was saying, or they're going to judge me, and they're all my peers. I'm training my peers, that people I'm around every day. There's like 800 people in the whole organization, and I had to train them all. So it was difficult for me with those thoughts and feelings going on. The actions were that, that fear would show up while I'm briefing. People could see. I'd be nervous. I'd be rambling at times. I'd be timid even. And I'm not necessarily timid. I'm a little shy, but I'm not timid. Um, the next thing would be challenge limiting beliefs. So if you're saying, I can't do it, challenge it. Can you do it? Can you literally do it? Do you really know this information? Of course, you've been doing it all your life. You know it. But you have to tell yourself that I got this, I know this, and practice. And when you get there, don't let those thoughts get in your head. If they're there, push them out there. You don't even need to recognize those thoughts. Recognize that you can do this. You're prepared. You know this. Um, next tip is set achievable goals. Break down big goals into smaller goals. Manage your task and celebrate the small victories along the way to maintain motivation. That helps you know you can do it. So I would say for me, it was definitely something that was achievable, to do a better training, to be able to be competent and keep people interested. And it was kind of crazy because I just let my personality out. I don't always show that on these podcasts, and I should, but I'm a pretty funny person. um, I'm pretty easygoing, and people laugh, so I let that go. When I was training folks, I would let the jokey joke come in, but relevant to what we're talking about. um, so in smaller parts, when breaking this down, I would, or I did, I had to get those slides right? Because that was embarrassing. Every time I mean, why I didn't, I don't know. But why I didn't change it, I don't know. But the periods on the bullets, I saw them. I knew they weren't right. Why didn't I change them? Words not spelled right or whatever. It just was something I should have taken the time to do. I think I procrastinated on that one. But then making sure I know the subject. I knew the subject, and I wasn't going to be able to memorize it. It was a lot of information, but I had my key points and my key um, comments on those points. Didn't do every single point, and I didn't read everything on the slides, but that was all part of my getting myself ready to do this. So it was like a whole new person came out one day and was training, and folks are looking at me like, wow, who is this? But and get help when you need to. Practice self-care. So sometimes we get beat down, whether it be in our family or our work, maybe our situation, our relationship. Um, Sometimes we just get beat down, or things aren't going well at the time, and so you got to take your time to settle in, take your day, which Sunday is a good day to make that your relaxation and regeneration time, and do things that are good for you, like getting pedicures, getting manicures, exercising during the week, uh, and make that Sunday the rest. And then just like doing things that make you feel good. If watching TV, watching a series, or you got that one series you want to watch, binge your series for Sunday. Um, Going to church, if that's what you do, or for me, my internet church service, that is renews me and re-energizes me and gives me that positivity that I need. So um, that's one way of practicing self-care. Some ways of practicing self-care. Healthy eating. Sometimes that's difficult. The healthy eating, but you want to live. You want to be around to see your grandkids. You got things you want to live for. You got to eat healthy. Not every day, not all the time. There's times we're going to fall off the wagon. We're going to have this steak or fatty foods that we probably shouldn't have, but we're going to do it because it makes us feel good. But not every day. In moderation, eat it in moderation. Make sure you get adequate sleep. Sleep is so important. Sleep will make me not functional during the day. I mean, not having sleep. It'll make me not motivated, make me not think about the things I need to get any project done, just kind of maybe trying to get through it in my sleepy way. So sleep is important. Plus your I feel like when I don't get enough sleep, my brain isn't functioning well enough. Like I can do it, but I'm not that creative person that I am. The ideas don't flow. I'm just trying to just get through the day. Um, and then you can also do relaxation techniques like breathing, uh, controlled breathing. You could do it, guided imagery. You can look all these up online and find things that they're there, easy to find. Even YouTube videos to get you through it. So seek support, like I said earlier. Maybe your friends, your family, people you um, believe in you and know that you can do what you're trying to do. Those people are important. Also, like I did, I found a mentor that I knew was someone that could help me. Plus, he was a lot like I would be if I could just let go. So I knew that that was a good guy. He had all this swagger and he was just interesting when he was talking. But at the same time, he knew his subject and he had his own personality. It wasn't about being up there being a stick model and trying to read the slides or just being very boring and monotone. He was not that. You might need to seek a trusted friend, a family member, or therapist, someone who can offer you guidance and encouragement. Develop coping strategies. So, identify healthy ways to deal with stress, setbacks, and negative emotions. If you feel like you're spiraling, you might want to seek a therapist or someone you can talk to help you from being in that spiral. Sometimes folks get caught up so much in the negative, they're spiraling, and all of a sudden, this project or this thing that they're trying to do is now a mountain when it was just really a small hill that you had to climb over. Sometimes you got to go around the hill and not meet it face to face. Maybe that's not the best thing for you right now. So, um, you might think it's a mountain when it's not. And that's a part of spiraling down. Um, Another healthy thing you can do is journaling. That helps you get it out. For some people, though, some people are communicators. They need to talk to somebody. They need somebody to talk about, trusted friend, a therapist, a family member, somebody they know that believes in them, that they need to talk it out with them so that they can get to where they need to be. And if you engage in hobbies, that kind of helps you spend some time coping and getting out of the negativity. But remember to tell yourself that you can do it. If it's something you can do, you're skilled enough to do it. Don't let those negative thoughts beat you down. Stay accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Stay accountable to your actions and your decisions. Track your progress, reflect on your successes and setbacks, and adjust your approach as needed. So maybe you had a task that you wanted to do and you thought it was a good idea, but as you're holding yourself accountable, you realize, oh, this was too much. It wasn't realistic. It wasn't achievable, Like I said in the number three tip, set achievable goals. So if you know that you can't do this, you're going to need some help, and you don't have the help backed up to do what you need to do, then it's probably not a good idea. So, okay, it happened. You couldn't complete it. You couldn't do it well enough as you wanted. So, hold yourself accountable and say, okay, this was a bad idea. In the future, I will plan better. I will make sure I have what I need if I can't do it alone. Um, and as you reflect on your success and setbacks, take it serious. Don't blow it off. Like it's just going to magically come together the next time you have to do that. Like me, next time I had to train, it wasn't going to magically come together. I had to do something about it. And I think I finally got to my tipping point where I just was tired of this having it's not going away. I'm still got to do this training. I want to do it better. I want to perform better. So I got help in holding myself accountable, and I went ahead and fixed those slides. Anyway, by implementing these strategies, you can minimize the likelihood of you self sabotaging and move closer to achieving your goals. So I hope this was helpful to somebody. And if it was, please share it with the people you know, maybe your friends, your coworkers, family members that you know self sabotage. That was a good example of it. And my using my own life. And sometimes I still have to remember these things for myself, even though I've overcome the challenge many times over. It still sneaks back in sometimes. So just remember that and come back next week or the week after, whenever you see a new podcast posted, come and listen. They're helpful hints, and I actually enjoy doing this. So have a beautiful rest of your day. I look forward to seeing that you've watched again. Thank you for listening.